some of you are out there thinking, I have a question to ask Scott White. Well, you know what? You got to email us with them. We will answer them right here on the show. Glad to be with you, Lauren Shehadi, Scott White. We need like a little mailbag to get the mail out and actually exactly. Yeah. Let's check out your first question for you right here. When do I give up on Brandon Webb? I see he's now sidelined even longer. When does he get back? He's taking up a valuable bench spot on my roster.
Instances like these are really why you have bench slots in the first place. Brandon Webb, clearly an ace pitcher in fantasy, clearly some guy you want to hang on to for as long as it takes, especially since this injury, it's just a muscle strain. It's something he can get over. It's no structural damage or anything like that. Probably going to be back before the All-Star break. So you don't want to give up on him. You don't want to throw him back in the waiver wire where someone will surely pick him up, get the benefit you should have had from hanging on to him. He's your ace. You got to stick with him as long as it takes. You're not going to find anyone on waivers who's going to fill that bench slot better than he can.
So it's a no deal, Trish.
Yes,
right?
Stick with Webb.
All right, let's check out your second one. A member of my 12-team mixed league is hounding me to give up Jose Reyes for Rafael Furcal and either Edinson Volquez or A.J. Burnett, claiming the drop from second best to fourth best shortstop isn't much considering the pitching I'd get. I'm not convinced. He's being persistent. Am I missing an opportunity here, Scott? What do you think?
You know, it's cute what this guy's trying to do here. It's cute. It's laughable even. 2 middle-round picks for a first-round stud is a trade a lot of fantasy newbies can fall for. You don't want to be that guy. Reyes is a clear number 1 fantasy shortstop, and the notion that Furcal is the 4th best is kind of laughable in its own right because he's coming off a back surgery, a fairly serious procedure, hasn't proven that he's completely recovered, completely back to being who he was before that procedure, and he has a history of injury. So he could conceivably finish as the 4th shortstop. He could finish 10th or 12th or 15th. Not that great. The pitchers you're getting, you can mix and match pitching easily enough on the waiver wire. It's not somebody you need to shell out a clear stud for. So you want to hang on to Reyes. Don't fall for this. And another thing, he's applying these bully tactics, trying to push you into until you finally give in and do something you don't want to do. That's not cool.
Don't be bullied. Yeah. Don't be that guy or girl.
Get a clue, get a life, get a job.
Get a third question.
Get whatever.
I am in need of a catcher with Brian McCann going to the DL. My options on waivers are Kurt Suzuki, Gerald Lair, and Jesus Flores. I'm in a roto league that uses OPS along with the usual categories. Who's my best option?
Well, the thing about Suzuki, he's coming out of this athletics organization, and anybody who comes out of there you can trust to have good peripherals. He's no exception. He's going to finish with a better OPS than these other two, better on-base percentage, maybe not the highest slugging percentage of the 3, but he's improving in that regard. Probably not a 20 home run hitter ever, but he's good enough with the peripherals that he could conceivably rank among the top 10 catchers in fantasy. Better overall numbers there is going to be your best choice, even if he doesn't finish with the most home runs.
And that's what you want. You're on a roll. Ready for number 4?
Ready for number 4.
Your last question, here it is. I have Pence starting in my outfield and Nelson Cruz on my bench. I have a chance to trade one of them for John Danks, Adam Wainwright, or Francisco Liriano. Which outfielder, which pitcher do you like for the rest of the season?
Well, the pitcher I like the most is Danks, even though he was actually ranked below Wainwright and Liriano coming into the season. He was a guy I liked because he had the potential to actually surpass those two, to take them over. And, Liriano might have a little more upside, but best case scenario, all 3 of these guys are going to be no better than number 2 fantasy starting pitchers. Danks looks like he's already there, so there's no reason to roll these dice on the other 2, especially with Liriano struggling as much as he is. As for the outfielder to trade, this is kind of an awkward situation for me. I like Cruz, don't really like Pence. I got to go with Pence here, and the reason,
Even though you're worried.
Is, well, I'm a little worried about it. I think it could be a season-opening hot streak for him, but he's making improvements, lowering his strikeout rate, hitting for a high average, probably going to steal more bases. And Cruz, still a little unproven. The one thing you know for sure he's going to give you is lots and lots of strikeouts, and that can hurt you in head-to-head leagues.
And the one thing we are going to give you is tips. He's going to give you tips. You got to email us your question, dmfantasybaseball@cbs.com. For Scott White, I'm Lauren Shehadi. Until next time.